Some of the best kept secrets in fishing can be found in urban areas near some of our major metropolitan areas. On this week's episode, we discover one of those places. Come along with us as we visit Nashville's Percy Priest Reservoir. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
It's time for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to have you along today as we visit Percy Priest Lake in Tennessee for my very first time ever. You would never know it on a sunny, peaceful, calm day like today, but just across that shoreline, about 10 or 15 miles, is downtown Nashville, Tennessee, with all its people and traffic and noise. But here, it's very nice today, and we've been getting some fantastic fishing reports from here with 5 fish stringers weighing 25 to 27 pounds in bass tournaments. So we're gonna get out today and explore the lake a little bit, see what we can find, and show you what this lake has to offer. And while we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your latest fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters. Right now, the Nitro Z20 gets launched down the boat ramp. We get out on Percy Priest Lake in Nashville, Tennessee, and we get things started back at the studios with your weekend planner.
The Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity for both days of the weekend. Peak daylight times are expected to begin on Saturday at 9:33 a.m. and Sunday at 10:28 a.m. Sunrise will take place at 6:59 with sunset occurring at 7:57. And the moon will be 23% illuminated. Stay with us for regional fishing updates from all of our reporters. And I'll return with the 2008 Classic champion Alton Jones on this week's Ask the Pro. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. Lose, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Got it. That's a decent fish to get things going. Yeah. There is my first Percy Priest bass. Calm yourself down. Got him. All right. There's a start. We've made it out on the lake, and I've caught a bass. That's just a good 3-ish pound largemouth bass. Got largemouth and smallmouth, as we mentioned in this lake, and that was pretty cool right there. We're gonna let him swim back right here. All right, back down he goes. Well, let me give you some facts about Percy Priest. The lake is about 14,000 surface acres. It's got a couple of hundred miles, 200 or so miles of shoreline, got a lot of arms and fingers running off everywhere. It's on the Stones River, which is a tributary of the Cumberland River, which runs right through Nashville. It's a rocky structure. As you can see, this is pretty much the structure that you're going to find everywhere at Percy Priest. Just a lot of rocks everywhere, not a lot of standing timber, not a lot of brush, bushes, not any grass. It's a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers lake. Flood control lake, so you won't find a lot of docks and a lot of private property, that kind of thing around the lake. So that gets you oriented as to what to expect if you're going to come here to Percy Priest. Really good fishing spot. Let's get you started with fishing and lake reports from where you live.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you by the Lake Texoma Association, Little Glasses Resort, and Travel OK, inviting you to the Oklahoma area to see all that Oklahoma and Lake Texoma have to offer. Now we're going to start in northeast Texas up on Lake Cypress Springs. Boat docks are the pattern for bass on Cypress Springs this time of year. You'll want to use a 1/4 ounce jig in either your black blues or green colors, and you'll want to pitch that on a spinning rod and reel with 14-pound test up under those docks. Using the spinning gear will allow you to skip it back as far as you can get it and find those bass hiding deep underneath the docks. Now, crappie are found on the brush piles, and you'll also find those around and in front of and underneath some of those boat docks. Get yourself 3 or 4 brush piles located and marked, and then go back and fish those with your crappie jigs and your minnows. Now, Lake Tawakoni's had a great hybrid striper bite, and they're out on the main lake humps. They're using sassy shads on a lead head and either steadily reeling those over the humps or pumping them up off the bottom. Throw it out, let it sink all the way down, a nice big pump 4 or 5 feet off the bottom, and then drop it again. They're also using the slabs with a similar retrieve of 2 or 3 reels of the handle, and then mash the button, let it fall back down. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Travel OK, the Lake Texoma Association, and Little Glasses Resort. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, trolling motors may get a workout this weekend as forecasts call for lighter winds. Shorelines behind barrier islands and spoil islands are beginning to see redfish schools starting to work. Catch them early. Now, if lighter winds prevail, the surf will be the go-to location from the National Seashore to Sabine Pass. Anglers are seeing increased bird activity with trout and reds underneath. Smaller paddle-tail bass assassins or yum money minnows are good options. Cedar Bayou provides a good inside and outside option. San Antonio Bay's deeper reefs are starting to turn on with both trout and redfish in the area. Redfish activity continues to build on the Middle Coast, behind St. Joe Island, as well as at Packery Channel and Packery Flats. There's a solid school of both trout and redfish working. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
There's one's got it off the ledge. I pulled it off that ledge, and look at my line swimming sideways. Got it. Not much of a bass, but a bass. All right. If you're coming here, you really need to pay attention to ledges. My polarized Costa 580 glass lenses allow me to see these dark spots where these ledges fall off. We'll let that fish swim back. In fact, we'll just take the camera right here, and I think you can even see this ledge without a polarizing filter on the camera lens. You can see the light part right there. That's the top of the ledge, but then if you see just to the right, you can see that darker area where that ledge drops off. And you can throw up on those ledges and pull some kind of a little soft plastic bait off and make it fall down the ledge. One will run out there and pop it like that. Stay with us. We're coming back. Percy Priest Lake, Nashville, Tennessee, right after this. Got it on Topwater. Wow. Wow, I saw a couple of fish blow up on top. And I picked up a little dog walking cigar type bait and threw it in there, and he jumped all over it. That's what happens when you're opportunistic. That is a skinny old fish right there. There you go, right there. There's another one right in front. Let's see if I can get another cast right in front on him. Kind of moved to a different kind of an area. This is a big flat area with some little pea gravel islands. So if you'll just drive around and look for the little smaller gravel, not the great big boulder rock, but look for the smaller gravel, you've got a chance of catching some fish. Okay, let's get you some fishing and lake reports from your local area. Let's check in with some of our reporters right now.
Hey friends, Cajun Phil here for your Louisiana Southwest Outdoor Fishing Report. I tell you what, we got a little sunshine right now. We're just in a little bitty pause. We just had a big rain just before the sun come out. I hear the thundering in the background. I can see it over there. It's actually raining towards Hackberry, Louisiana. We're in and out of rains each and every day. It's been horrible, unbelievable. But keep in mind, friends, Lake Charles has been spared. I'm talking about just barely east of us. Lake Arthur, Louisiana, all the way to New Orleans is flooded and flooded bad. It is so bad east of here, friends, that fishing is unbelievable bad. Don't even try to go. Matter of fact, if you're looking for bass right now, go north, go to Toledo Bend, go to Lake Caddo, go to any of the northern lakes here in Louisiana. Chaffalay Basin, high, muddy, horrible looking. Everything, Lake Verret, I'm talking about the False River. Everything east of here is high and muddy. Saltwater fish is not very good right now. Other than you get down by Houma, they're doing pretty good. Down around Shell Beach, Delacroix, Hopedale, they're doing pretty good. In between there, fishing is really bad. Here, we are catching good fish. If we don't have rain, thunder, lightning, we're going to go out there and go fishing. Tell you what, till next time, it's okay, Phil. For Captain Kevin, who's out there on the water with Captain Preston, saying, happy fishing. May God bless. And we're going to see you folks next week. Bye-bye.
Boy, this is a perfect spot for a smallmouth bass. Ashley Hayes, one of my friends, Crispin Powley's friends here on the show, lives here and told me to fish this kind of a spot for a smallmouth, and it's perfect. I'll explain it. Here's a bite right here. Here's a bite. I got him. Got him. Oh, we got one on. It's a smallmouth, I think. Big smallmouth. Take our time. Got the net here. I'm on my Carolina rig. Look at this. Oh, wow. That is what Percy Priest is famous for right there. Finally got a big smallmouth. I've been fishing real hard for one of these. Could catch a lot of largemouths up shallower, but I pulled back deeper and I caught a big smallie. All right. That is a specimen right there. Look how beautiful that fish is. Beautiful bronze back right there. Bars down his sides, gold color, little small mouth right there. What a fantastic bass for you right there. Man, caught him on a big rod, Carolina rig, and look behind me, this pea gravel. I'll tell you about that in just a second. We're gonna release this bass. Wow, he was still plenty lively. I mentioned bottom composition. It's very critical when you're smallmouth fishing anywhere, particularly here at Percy Priest. I want to show you behind me here. This is little pea gravel. There's lots of big boulders, big chunk rock, big bluffs here. But the smallmouths are absolutely suckers for this type of a background here. In fact, if we can pan the camera out here, you can see right here, this is all the little small pea gravel. But then, literally 20 yards, 30 yards, you can see that it changes to the bigger chunk rock. And that transition from the pea gravel to the chunk rock is absolutely perfect for catching a smallmouth. And that's the kind of places you want to look for right there. Look for the bottom composition, transition, the change from one type of rock to another. And then actually you can even see in there, there's a little bit of that red clay. So it goes pea gravel to red clay to chunk rock. Perfect place for a big, fat Percy Priest smallmouth. We'll be back to Tennessee right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Excite AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. Motor Guide Trolling Motors, because accuracy matters. Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made. And Fox Sports Outdoors is driven by Fort Worth Nissan and Lone Star Toyota.
Oh, I got one. I got one on a Carolina rig. Stay on here. In Jesus' name, stay on. It's a good fish right here. Big old largemouth. Stay on, baby. Got him. Wow, look at this. That's a big old largemouth on Percy Priest. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is what we came to do right there. Look at that big old mouth. Yow. Well, welcome to Percy Priest, everybody. I threw a Carolina rig. Look out behind me. Just nothing. Big old open water. Big underwater shoal out there. Big reef. It's got gravel on top of it. And that big old pig right there jumped up there and ate it. All right. 6'5", 6 pounds and 5 ounces. All right, back this fish goes. What a gorgeous specimen of a bass right there. That's a hog. Okay, quickly, let me show you my technique for Carolina rigging. I'll show you the gear at the end in the Academy Right stuff. But what I want to do is just give it some slack and make a big, long surf cast as far as I can throw it out there. Let it go to the bottom, which is not very deep right here, only 4 or 5 feet deep. Rod tip goes down, and then it's a drag. Drag, 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 take up the slack. Drag, drag, drag. You don't want to hop it. You don't want to lift that weight up off the bottom at all. You want the rod tip down and a smooth dragging technique with that weight dragging in contact with the bottom all the time. All right, I am loving it. My heart's got to calm down. While it does, you're getting some fishing and lake reports from where you live.
Okay, Charles Jules got me all excited about Lake Murray and Arbuckle. I'm going to head over that way the next few weeks to fish with him. I look forward to sharing that trip with you here. But for right now, he says Murray is the better of the two, especially the north end of the lake has been good, catching good quality and numbers of largemouth and smallmouth, a lot in the 4-pound range, a few 5-pounders. He said a recent night tournament on Murray resulted in their nearly 19-pound bag. Big bass was 5'11". Gary Gregg, great catch on that big old fish. That's really a beautiful one. Now, also on Murray, the Brad Vance family had a recent outing there. His wife Sheena and son Garen, they had a good trip, caught a good number of fish. They were kind enough to share these pictures with Charles Jewell, who passed them along to me. You know, as far as the crappie and the white bass fishing, there's a lot of fish being caught many places across the state. There's a technique I want you to give a try when you have a chance. This is something that's working extremely well over on Beaver Lake, Arkansas right now. It's taking a small diving bandit crankbait, tying a small little Bobby Garland itty bit swimmer on a trailer line behind it and just trolling it. Catching a lot of crappie doing that, a lot of white bass doing that, and Greg over on Beaver Lake is actually catching a good number of catfish at the same time. 1 32nd ounce jig head, the little Bobby Garland itty bit swimmer, 15 to 18 inches line behind the crankbait. That line's tied to the rear hook hanger on the crankbait. Just get out there and troll it. You're going to catch something, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday at 5:30, or catch the repeat airing Saturday morning at 8. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button, and see lots of how-to and product videos by clicking the how-to button. Also, stay up to date with the latest fishing news, videos, and photos by clicking the follow button on our Twitter feed, and get lots of that same info by clicking the like button on our Facebook page. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. Costa sunglasses, see what's out there. Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Charles wants to know, if I keep catching drum in an area, should I move? For the answer, we asked the 2008 Classic champion, Alton Jones.
You know, that's a great question, but let me tell you something. Drum feed on exactly the same forage that bass do, whether it's shad, crawfish, whatever, and they especially like crawfish. It's not at all uncommon to catch bass and drum all mixed in there together. If you're catching drum, one thing you can be sure of is there's food for the bass too, so stick with it.
Thank you, Alton. If you want some help from one of the pros, go to foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time for the Costa Catch of the Week, where someone wins a new pair of sunglasses.
Back at the Fate Sanders Marina boat ramp at Percy Priest Reservoir at Nashville, Tennessee. It's time right now for someone to win a free pair of Costa sunglasses in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. Here's this week's winner. He is Billy Perez of Brownsville, Texas, showing a 32-inch redfish he caught in the lower Laguna Madre on the Texas Gulf Coast. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. The right side of the front page, click on the Costa Catch of the Week box and follow the instructions to send us your photo. And if you'd like to see all of the great Costa products, just go to their website. Back on our front page is the Costa logo. Click on that. You can see all the 580 polycarbonate and glass lenses and all the beautiful frame styles, including the one I was wearing on this week's episode. It's called Rockport. On the Academy Right Stuff, I want to talk about the Carolina rig and the gear that you'll need to throw it, because it's an incredibly effective bait for big bass all through the warm weather months of the year. And it really begins with a great lengthy rod. This is the Lew's Custom Speed Stick Series, and it's a 7-foot, 11-inch rod, an extremely long rod. It's a heavy action. This one is the Magnum casting rod in that series. I've got the Lew's Super Duty Speed Spool. It's a very heavy duty, long casting bait cast reel. Then as far as the Carolina rig itself goes, you've got a 3/4 ounce brass weight with a red glass bead. It's got to be glass for the clicking motion, the clicking sound. Then I've got a knot protector. It's also brass, followed by a double barrel swivel, a 3-foot leader. I've got a 3 or a 4/0 offset worm hook, and I was using the large size biffle bug. It's a Jean LaRue bait. There are 3 different sizes. I was using the largest one. One of the stiffest challenges Americans face is debt. Charging things until you get yourself in completely over your head. It can cause marital problems, depression, stress. I've mentioned several times on Stuff That Matters that I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan. I believe in his principles. One of his greatest philosophies is called the debt snowball. It works like this. You do whatever it takes to get $1,000 in an emergency fund that you don't touch until it's a true emergency. Then you take the smallest debt you have and you work to completely pay it off. And then the next smallest until you get to the larger ones. That way you get this real sense of accomplishment when you've paid those debts off systematically. I'm a big fan of the debt snowball. I know for a fact it works, and if you'd like more information, all you have to do is simply Google Dave Ramsey debt snowball. You'll find out everything you need to know. Well, as you can imagine, on my first trip ever to beautiful Percy Priest Reservoir at Nashville, Tennessee, I was very impressed with the fishery. I will tell you, if you're coming here, it's a crowded lake because it's so close to the big metropolitan area. Lots of boats on the lake, boat ramps, parking lots, very crowded, so expect that if you come. But we did catch that big, giant smallmouth bass and a big largemouth bass, both in the same day. And our special thanks to Ashley Hayes. He's not a guide or anything, he's just a good dude who helped put us on some great locations on the lake. From Percy Priest Lake, Tennessee, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.